Okay, let's unpack this. We're doing a deep dive on a sprawling, multi-billion-dollar government fraud crisis out of Minnesota.
Hmm.
And our mission today is really to understand not just the astonishing scale of it all, and I mean, federal prosecutors called the main case the Feeding Our Future scheme, the country's largest pandemic relief fraud,
Right, the largest.
but critically, how modern data systems could have been that vital and totally missing guardrail.
The scale is just staggering. And it wasn't one single program. Feeding Our Future got the headlines, but this was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Take the Housing Stabilization Services, HSS. It was supposed to cost maybe $2.6 million a year.
Okay, a reasonable number.
It exploded. It went to over $100 million a year almost overnight. And some state officials have warned that the total damage across just a handful of these high-risk Medicaid programs could hit $9 billion.
9 billion, that number, and just screams systemic failure, not just a few bad actors.
Yeah.
And when you look at how the fraud actually worked, it was fundamentally a massive data problem, right? A data corruption problem. Just how bad were the records getting through?
Oh, they were beyond suspicious. I mean, they were almost cartoonishly fraudulent. This is where the data tells the whole story.
Okay, like what?
We saw things like billing for clients who were already deceased. Or, my favorite, one employee from a substance abuse service claiming to have worked 203 hours in a single day.
203 hours. That's not even trying to hide it.
Not at all. And these things, these huge outliers, they were flagged internally, but sometimes they were just ignored for a year or more. The core issue, as many pointed out, was a culture of being a little too trusting.
So, okay, trusting people clearly didn't work. The manual audits failed. How do we shift to trusting the system? It raises the question, why aren't state systems using the same tech that, a bank uses to stop fraud instantly?
That's the perfect question. And it brings us to this idea of governance by design. You have to move quality control upstream,
Upstream.
way upstream. And two concepts really stand out. First is advanced AI fraud detection, specifically something called hybrid deep learning models. They use a key component, an autoencoder.
An autoencoder. Okay, that sounds incredibly technical. Break that down for us. What does it actually do?
Think of it like a security guard that's been trained to know what every single normal, legitimate person looks like. Its job is just to spot systemic strangeness.
Strangeness.
Exactly. It learns the shape of good data. Anything that massively deviates, like 203 hours in a day, is an anomaly. It gets flagged instantly, even if the basic software was, say, poorly configured.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you catch those zero-day attacks, the new fraud schemes that old rules don't know about yet.
Got it. So that spots the weirdness after the data is already in. But what about stopping the garbage data from ever getting into the system in the first place?
And that's the second, and I'd argue more fundamental solution. It's the data contract.
A contract for data.
Exactly. It's a formal, machine-enforceable agreement. It dictates the rules, the schema, the quality of the data before it's allowed to move anywhere.
So it's like a blueprint.
A mandatory blueprint. It says, for example, the service hours field cannot be greater than 24, and the client status field must be active. AI contract engines can then automatically validate every single record against these rules. Nothing gets in unless it's perfect.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? The technology, the capability to build accountability and prevent billions in waste, it exists. It's here.
It is. The challenge isn't the tech. It's having the will to embed that rigor, to make correctness, pipeline native.
Right.
At the end of the day, the lesson from all this is that knowledge is only valuable when you apply it. The government platforms of the future have to be built for reliability first. Automated testing, real-time validation. That's not a feature, it's the foundation.
Think about this for a second. If the government had required and enforced clear data contracts on service volume, on location, on recipient status, before a single dollar was paid out, would a group have been able to submit completely fabricated records for years? The difference between just hoping fraud doesn't happen and making it structurally impossible, well, that's the difference between a simple piece of software and a true data governance platform.